Hey guys.
As promised, we're back to do the second video on this Monday doubleheader. This is a Patrono request from this Patrono right here. Asked us to check out 7 Spires, Gods of Debauchery.
I like this Patrono.
I like this Patrono as well. Now, full disclosure, they have a new album. The album is out already. I did an album review. I already heard the album. Obviously, I heard the song. I haven't seen the video. But this is your first taste of this brand new 7 Spires album. Knowing what I know about this song, I think you're going to love it.
Okay.
I think you're going to love it. But I think you're going to be surprised because it also sounds slightly different from the previous 2 records. So
Okay.
I'm just putting that out there. So having said that, are you ready for some 7 Spires?
I was born ready.
Okay, let's do it. Glorious stuff. Glorious stuff. All right, you're gonna go first because you said in the last video that I would go first on that one. You go first.
I mean, it would only make sense for me to go first on this.
Yeah,
one.
because I already heard it, but it was nice to see the video.
Yeah, it was a good video. Very well produced and everything.
I liked it. It was simple but effective.
Yeah.
Simple yet effective. All right. So first time for you listening to this song, listening to a little bit of what this new Seven Spires album is all about. What do you have to say?
I gotta say, the verses at the start of the song, the first part of the song, the verses were very Finnish, mellow death type.
Okay. I like where you go
vibes
with this.
I was getting.
Let me get my drink while you
go
down this incredible path of yours.
The thing is, I was loving it. I absolutely loving it because I feel like this is my one. This is my wheelhouse, and two, I really love this band. And their last album.
I feel like both of us were band members. We've been listening to these guys since their first album. Like we've been to their shows every time they play in Toronto. We're there.
We're always there.
So we're good friends with them. So I honestly feel like we're like not the third wheel, but we're like the fifth and sixth wheel here.
Or the wheels you put in the back of the car just in case.
Yeah, the Jeep ones in the back.
Yeah,
in case you have a flat tire. That's us. I don't know what we could do.
We're the safety wheel.
By the way, I was watching Jack playing guitar, and I was thinking, you know what I should do? I should start my own YouTube channel, where I do guitar tutorials, but like completely like not really, because I don't know how to play guitar. So I'm like, oh, okay, for you to play this song, you do a little bit of this, then you do some of this, you make sure the guitar is plugged, and then you do this.
And then I'll show you this, and then you just play the song, and you.
And then let me show you how it sounds once it's done by somebody who knows what they're doing. And then I actually put the video of the person who's doing the. See what I'm saying? Like. It's like guitar tutorials by somebody who has no idea what the fuck they're doing. Just for the lulz. I think it would be kind of funny though. I don't know. You
do you, man.
Listen, it's the internet. There's an audience out there for everybody.
For everything.
All right. So on that note, I'm just pitching that idea out there. But anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
I really, really enjoyed the kind of Finnish vibe I was getting, and then the end. Then it split in half to the other part because then I felt like the whole other part with more of the piano type of symphony coming in. I think maybe you'll agree with me. Flesh God Apocalypse.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Wow, I had more of a Demo Borgir vibe.
That too, but I feel like Flesh God Apocalypse and Demo Borgir.
Flesh God Apocalypse makes more sense. I mean, but Flesh God Apocalypse makes more sense because they're a symphonic death metal band,
and that's kind of what.
It makes more sense. But to me, when I first listened to this song for the first time, I was like, "Fuck, this sounds like Blood Red Hourglass or Bramir, one of those bands." It has such a Finnish vibe.
For the first part of the song,
yeah, the guitar playing, not just the vocals, but the guitar playing, the melody.
The verses. It was during the verses where you were getting.
I'm with you 100%.
The height of the Finnish mellow death in this song.
Oh, definitely.
But I do feel halfway through the song where they kind of switch it up. I feel more.
It becomes more symphonic death. It starts off as just straight up melodic death metal, and then it becomes a little bit more symphonic death metal as it progresses.
Yeah.
I'm 100% with you. I don't know about the Flesh God Apocalypse vibe. I mean, I could feel it, but maybe I'm a little bit biased because I already heard the whole album, and I feel like this is an album that's heavily influenced by Demo Borgir. I just really feel that. I get that vibe listening to it.
There was that part at the start, the kind of chanting type thing. I didn't know where I was getting myself into with that.
Oh, you didn't know what this was going?
I didn't know this is going. I'm like, what is this demonic sea shanties over here? Like
demonic sea shanties. Speaking of sea shanties, I mean, it has nothing to do with sea shanties, but Jack's hair, man, he has incredible hair. It makes a bald man jealous. Just keeping it real. I'm not a big fan of his cowboy boots, but
I mean, when you have hair like that, I think the cowboy boots are.
I feel like I have a strict rule on cowboy boots. Unless you own a horse, you know what I mean, or you live in Texas, there's really no good explanation for you wearing. Or Calgary. There's really no good explanation for you wearing cowboy boots.
No,
I just feel like
Asim could rock some cowboy boots.
I'm not a huge fan of cowboy boots.
I mean, his shoes are kind of like the baby steps of cowboy boots.
And if you're gonna wear ankle boots that look like cowboy boots, then I'm even more. That to me is a huge fashion faux pas. But I mean, what the fuck do I know? I wear sweatpants and
Exactly.
metal shirts all the time.
Exactly.
So who am I to judge
On fashion.
on fashion or on anything for that matter? I think I'm the least person qualified to judge anybody on anything. And that's why I don't technically do that, at least not out in the open. I save that for my private times when I make fun of people.
Which happens a lot.
Which happens a lot. It happens when I read people's Facebook profile update status. I don't comment. I just laugh on my own, like, what a fucking idiot. And then I go to the next one, what a fucking idiot. Then I go to the next one, what a fucking idiot.
And then you're cracking jokes.
And the next thing you know is my own status update. What a fuck. Hey, wait a minute, that's me.
Yeah.
Oh, what a fucking idiot.
And then you go to the next one.
That's pretty much my life during this pandemic.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping it real.
And then you crack wise jokes, and you're like, you know what? You're like making yourself laugh, and you're like, I should make a YouTube channel where I do this. And I'm like, we have a channel.
Yeah,
let's stick with that.
Yeah, just, one is enough. I honestly, I barely have time to wipe my ass, so I don't think I could swing another YouTube channel for anything whatsoever. I just don't have the time or the energy, and I don't like to do things half-assed. If I do something, I put my balls into it.
Yeah.
I don't like to just leave them at the door. Like I like to bring them in with me.
Yes.
You know? So that's how I feel. So overall, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs up.
You enjoyed this?
I really did.
Now, this song is different from everything else you're going to get on the album. Don't expect the whole album to be like this, because the whole album is not like this. The album is very diverse. It's a very long album. So there's a little bit of everything for everybody. Okay. And if you've been following the band since the beginning, I think you're going to find some breadcrumbs throughout this record. They're going to remind you of songs from the first record. They're going to remind you of songs from the second record. So this album, to me, is an album that really takes... because it's a long record, you really have to sit down, take the time to really appreciate it. It's not fast food. This is an album that requires a little bit of effort for you to kind of navigate through it. But once you navigate through it, it's super enjoyable. It's super... like
it's like a wine tasting.
Best album that they've released to date. In my humble opinion, this is
really?
their best record. This is my favorite album.
Well, they've only released 2.
3.
Oh, 3, yeah.
So this, to me... while not being the easiest album, like if you're going to get into them, I don't suggest starting off with this record.
The other one, what's it called?
Solvig?
Yeah,
that was the debut record.
That was the debut record. That one is the one you should start off with.
I think. Well, it's a concept,
well,
right?
That's also the one I started off with.
Well, that's the one everybody started off. I mean, well, not everyone. If you just discovered the band now. But it's a trilogy, right? Because it's a concept. So the story starts with that record, and then it builds all the way up until now. So starting now, it's kind of like starting with, you know, Return of the Jedi, and then going back into Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back.
Chronological order is what we're trying to say.
Exactly. I think it's going to be an easier way for you to get into... If you have the callous of listening to this band and going through their music before, and when you get into this album, I think you're going to appreciate the album more, because there's more there for you to discover. If this is the album that you're getting into, you're still going to enjoy it, but it's going to take a little bit more effort, and I don't think you're going to find all the breadcrumbs that are there from the 2 previous records, which then takes something away from the overall experience of the album. Like I said, it's like you start with Return of the Jedi. If you start with Return of the Jedi, you don't know how the fuck did you get there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot... The whole time you're like, wow, they're brother and sister? Like, what the fuck? Like, how did they get here? Like, who's this guy? Han Solo? Is that a sexual euphemism? Like Chewbacca? Are they together? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of questions that you don't know. So, but if you start with Star Wars and you build and you watch Empire Strikes Back and Return, everything makes sense.
Basically, what we're trying to say is listen to
this album, but go back, listen to the 2 previous records.
Listen to this band in chronological order.
Yeah.
Before you listen to this album, you should listen to at least the first album.
I think so too. I think you should go in chronological order. But if you listen to this album after the first time going through it, and if
you're hyping up this album, but
it's their best album.
You're hyping up this album, but I really, really, really dig the first one.
But this is their best album. I just feel like if you listen to this album, go through it once. If you like it, then stop immediately at the end of the record, go back, purchase the previous 2, listen to those in order, and then come back into this. And you'll see, after you listen to those 2 previous ones, once you get back into this one, it's going to sound like a completely different record. Because you're gonna feel like, wow, this melody was in this song. Wow, this chorus, there was something similar in this other track. Like, you're gonna find pieces on this record of the 2 previous albums that they moved over. So I really feel like while this album is perfectly fine on its own, it's a great record, my favorite. But I think it's also my favorite because I have the 2 previous albums that led me to here. Yeah. So I'm coming from a different place. So for me, this is their best album. So anyways, I'm glad we did this song.
Me too. Yeah.
And plus it has a badass name, Gods of Debauchery. Fuck. If I was going to be a god of something, I would definitely be a god of debauchery.
You're already a god of debauchery.
And trolling.
And trolling.
And trolling. I technically do both. That's why I don't mind when people troll me. I'm like, you know.
It's my own medicine.
You know, like, it's only fair. I dish, I receive, it's only fair. It's only fair. I'm not even hating on haters. I don't even hate on haters. Because I know, from a hater's perspective, you're just hating because you cannot do better.
Exactly.
So, it's all fine. I'm all fine with that. Anyways, I was going to tell you guys a story, but it was going to make this video super long. I'll leave it for another one.
Okay.
About some haters on the comment section about one of the videos that we posted. But anyways, we'll leave that for another video.
We can do that.
Another video.
Yeah.
Okay, so on that note, guys, thank you for watching these 2 videos on this doubleheader Monday. Go check out 7 Spires. Go check out not just this record. Go back and check out the previous 2 albums. You're not going to regret it because they're a phenomenal band, phenomenal musicians. Jack has great hair. Adrian, great voice. All the guys are phenomenal. And we'll see you at the next video.
Yeah.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.